another meatless Monday.
Hello.
Hey y'all.
Welcome back.
So today we are going to be talking about the cattle and dairy industry and everything that basically happens to cows, whether they're in dairy or in the meat industry itself. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about was the deep connection that cows have with their young, and the fact that throughout their lives as dairy animals, they're inseminated over and over again, meaning that basically they're raped by this needle that has semen in it that impregnates the cows, keeps them pregnant year-round. And next 9 months later, a baby is born, and the baby's with their mom for 1 to 3 days, and it's taken from their mother. And they have an immediate attachment to their young like we do. They feel things, they feel the emotions, you can see it, they feel that pain of their young being ripped away from them. It's extremely traumatic and stressful for both the adult and the child. And for the children, if it's a female, she'll be put back in the cycle. She will get inseminated herself when she's big enough, and she will become a dairy cow as well. And once they get too old to keep producing milk, or they become frail, or they fall down and they die, or get close to death, they'll be taken to the meat industry and then turn into ground beef or a steak or whatever you want. And then for the males, they'll be sold into the veal industry within, I think it's 2 or 3 months. They'll have their throats slit and they'll be sold as veal to the public. It's just one of those things that I have a really hard time wrapping my head around, is the fact that cows are producing milk for their young, and we are raping these creatures over and over and over again to produce milk for us, and then stealing their kids from them. I don't know. That's just me. It's a little effed up.
Yeah. So, one of the things I studied a long time ago is basically I studied the same thing, just at a different portion, and how technically cows are supposed to be fed grass. That's what they're supposed to be eating. They're supposed to be walking around and eating grass because they're animals and they eat what comes from the earth. And the scientists have done this thing for quite a while now of putting these tubes, these stomach tubes in cows, basically to monitor what they eat, to find the most efficient way of feeding them, not what's gonna make them feel good and be better animals for people to eat, but be fatter, or be just how little can we feed them, and to make their life the longest so that we can get profit from them. And it's painful. They put those stomach tubes in them, and they use these things called cannulas, and they dig inside their stomachs and they put things in there that probably shouldn't go in there, and they take things out, and it's extremely painful for the cows. And then they package them, and you eat those cows that have been tortured for most of their life. So this is a sad video, but it's part of the things that need to be said.
And what's interesting is you'll hear people talk about oh, I only eat grass-fed cows or whatever. But even those grass-fed cows aren't getting to live a full life, and even those that do, they're still not living the best life they possibly could, because even those cows they build connections within their herd and their people, and their connections start to be plucked one by one and taken into the meat industry and packaged, and they're eaten. And that's just the way their lives are. But the thing is, you don't pay attention to everything that you buy, and you may say oh, I only buy organic vegetables, I only buy organic milk. Okay, your milk doesn't have chemicals in it, cool, but that cow was eating grains and things that it should not eat, that its body really cannot digest, and things that just aren't good for it in general. And the more that we take in, the more that we're promoting it. And I want to be the beginning of the end of that.
And we're not saying that the eating them is what's wrong with it, because the eating part is fine. It's just like being conscious of how much you're eating because of the strain this has put on this industry. Because if there wasn't a strain on this industry, they wouldn't treat cows like this. They wouldn't treat these animals like this, because they could treat them right because there wasn't a strain on them. Like,
it's a supply and demand kind of thing. The more they need, the more they're going to make. If they keep making money, if they say, oh, I'm making great money from the beef industry right now. Everyone's buying ground beef, it's 4th of July, everyone's getting burgers, I gotta get ready. I have to make sure there are enough cows to supply the demand. So they're going to make sure that there is enough cattle in order to make their money, get the most bang for their buck. And if not as many people required that much beef, there would be that fewer cows being abused. And it's a far stretch and a far cry to say, like, maybe they'd be treated better, but it's still a hope that if there was less need, that maybe they'd be treated better, because it wouldn't be as expensive to take really good care of these animals on that large of a scale. You don't need to be a vegan or vegetarian in order to make a difference, but you should watch how much you consume.
so, short video today, but just a few things. Keep in mind, we're not scientists. We don't know exactly what's up, but this is just us and our opinion trying to make a difference. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and follow us on Twitter. The link is always in the description. Thanks so much. Bye.